Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Brown, along with Dave, Will, and would you like to introduce yourself back there?
I'm Amy.
Yes, we're here for another great episode of 8-Star Anime. Wouldn't you agree, Dave?
I always think they're great.
Are you sure? Sounds like you may think it's awkward.
Especially when I'm not in... Oh, God, they're always going to be awkward when I'm in them. But I was say they're even better when I'm not in them. Because I bring the awkward to 11 or the letter Q.
We'll see how that works.
Letter Q.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh. He's waiting for the cranes.
Fair enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just got finished driving back from the theater for watching a film that will most likely, from this point on, not be seen again until it's actually on DVD. So, Funimation has decided to do a limited release in theaters. And what are you doing?
We'll turn the air conditioner off.
There should be an off switch somewhere.
Yeah, there you go.
So I was looking for.
I'll make the buzzing in the camera that was going on stop.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes!
Are we good?
Professionalism!
And just in case you didn't hear me because of the fan, I'm Amy.
Yay!
And I'm Will.
Shut up, Dave.
He's talking to you.
I know he is. Why are you talking about this, Chris?
Both.
There's a Johnny Cash song about this. Because the man on the right was the one in the middle, and the one in the middle was on the left, and the one on the left was on the right. And the drummer, well, she voted for... that's part of the vote. It's like, she burned her draft card, you know?
But we did get back from the theater watching a new feature film for one of the more recent animes here in the United States, My Hero Academia, entitled My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. This film, I'm pretty sure this episode will go up before the film will ever really be seen outside of theaters anytime soon, so we'll try to keep this as much spoiler-free as possible. Although
Okay.
that may... No, hold on.
Go ahead.
Now, with that being said...
This is 8-Star Anime.
This is 8-Star Anime. It does get awkward, and there will
And
be spoiler alerts.
So this is your warning.
Pretty sure, right? Yeah, you good? All right.
Midori, this is a spoiler warning.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
So currently, the anime series itself is within its third season.
Am I behind?
Yeah, and this movie would take place well before third season, probably during the middle of second season with these, based on the way some of the quirks are handled, the way All Might is, at this point still has his powers and whatnot. But in this film, they end up going to a place called Island, aptly named, I guess. It's the middle of the ocean that's actually able to be...
I think it's an Apple joke.
Probably. And it's able to move freely on the water, but it's made to be stationary to keep all the geniuses and scientists who are coming up with new technologies to keep them centered in one spot so it doesn't leak everywhere. And
It's a very strange research part.
And so at this point, All Might and Izuku are going as guests to a pre-exposition.
And who invited them?
No, not doing it.
Do it.
Why?
Who did it?
No.
Come on.
A scientist named Shield.
What was his first
Thank
name?
you. Thank you for the save.
Dave did it.
Yes, the best name is Dr. David Shield.
Oh, when we got there and he was like, my old friend Dave. And I'm like, I'm right here, dude.
And, well, actually, it's more invited by actually his daughter.
Yeah, that's true.
Melissa, who,
Uncle Mike.
yeah, who she refers to All Might as Uncle. So, but then again, they've known each other for so long, it's, might as well be family.
From his young years, through his bronze years, his silver years, and his golden years.
Yeah, I found it quite confusing that she called him uncle, but they referred to him as friend, so I don't know if,
Well,
the
it's no
doctor
different.
is brother or best
You've
friend.
never had
or what.
anyone
Oh,
I mean,
who is not related to
Kayla
you.
has dozens of uncles that are
yeah, I was
not.
about to say.
I'm one of them.
Yep. So you got 3 by blood and dozens by choice.
That's the way I see it. But
That's why I was never worried about her dating, because if someone got sideways, everyone could take a part to a different state.
well, damn. There's
Is
that.
that a little dark?
Just a little. Anyways,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, she's been on 8 Star. People know.
So,
Don't know what you're talking about.
shout out
Actually,
to-
I think she was in the Hero Academia one.
Yes, actually. She was. We did all that. So, anyways, in this film, they're there to... trying to remember how this thing goes. So, after they've invited, they find out that many of the other classmates
There too.
are there too. Bakugo, Shoto, all of them are there. Even the ones that are not important enough to be in the movie. So,
Some are visiting, but they're not there for the special stuff that happens at the
Beginning.
first day. Some are there in the place of their family members who are important business people.
correct.
Some are there as employees.
This is the way it is. Now, granted, they do get invited to the pre-exposition party where all the heroes will get together, all the guests of honor get to come and talk and chat and do whatnot. To find out that the place has been taken over by villains, at which they are succeeding so far and pretty much locking the place down.
I mean, they did better than the villains in Metal Gear Solid.
Yes,
Which
much
one?
better.
The only one I knew is on the one on PlayStation.
Which PlayStation?
Okay.
The first PlayStation. PlayStation.
I just wanted to make sure. It's like, when you said PlayStation, it's like Metal Gear's been on all of them. So there's that. But without that,
Solid's only been on 2 of them.
true.
I'm just saying, they invade a place in Alaska, and they do a very poor job of it.
Yes.
These guys were excellent.
Actually, well, I mean, these guys actually had a pretty fel plan. They had somebody who was there to take care of security
Right.
and all that stuff. I mean,
Yep.
almost down packed. I mean, All Might, the number one hero,
Neutralized
was
all
100%
kinds of
neutralized.
heroes like
of course,
that.
And of course, you can pick this up right away from the beginning of the movie that they had an inside man. So there's that.
Yeah. Oh, that was almost obvious right at the beginning.
Dude kept making phone calls and kept saying, "Yeah, we got all the equipment." And I was like,
It's like,
And what doctor did they have to go to? 66. Conspiracies.
yeah.
Okay.
So in this case,
"How do I get an outside
Basically-
line?"
so these villains are there and they're trying to
What do you mean
get
you
their
ordered
hands
a
on
pizza?
Stop that. So they're trying to get their hands on something. However, they need someone who is one of the geniuses, scientists there who actually knows the codes and whatnot to get in, which does include Dr. Shield.
And his assistant.
Yes, his assistant. And
Paul.
I can't remember his assistant's name. to be honest. He really wasn't that important of a character.
Sam.
Was
He
it Sam?
It was Sam.
Okay.
He was that important, but yeah, he mainly was just like, "That's my assistant," 2 or 3 times. "My assistant? What are you doing?"
That's
He
about
actually
it.
called him Biden. He actually called him Sam.
Well, yeah, he did. Like when All Might and Midori and Melissa first came in.
Calls him Sam.
Yeah, they introduced everybody.
And then he actually does still refer to him as Sam. And all
Right.
their
No, I believe you. It's just.
Well, I saw that. I just could look, guys. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, right. No,
his name.
I'm with you. I'm like,
I
he's
just
in.
couldn't remember.
He's in 2 scenes.
That is why you fail. Anyway.
And if Will says he's Sam, we're going with it. And if he's wrong, we don't know it.
Anyways, and to the point where the
I'm
only
a person that remembers Sam, but you motherfuckers both remember Dave, and it's like, I have to get
Because I'm Dave.
he remembers Dave for being Dave. I wasn't even going to mention it. I didn't
There's a
even care.
loyal order of Brotherhood of
But
Daves.
to be fair, Dave kind of plays a much bigger role than
I mean, Dr. Seuss
He's supposed to.
Dr. Seuss wrote a poem called Too Many Daves.
Anyways, so
Google that shit.
I don't care.
Well, I'm talking to you.
Please don't Google that shit.
There's a new T-shirt. Please don't Google that shit.
And so, now, granted, the only people who are actually capable of doing anything to help is the few students of UA who actually are capable of doing any moving.
You may know them as the main characters.
Yeah. So Izuku, Uraraka, Ida, a lot of the more popular characters, if you want to put it that way. Yes, Todoroki's in there. Probably the most popular guy in that theater. Literally, the most popular guy in the theater.
If 73 women in the movie theater are to be believed, he is the most popular character.
You ain't wrong.
They got really loud.
And
Came
the-
on
Oh my
the
God!
screen.
I was like, y'all act like you didn't expect him in the movie. Anyways, so
I'm waiting for him to go on about his honor.
yeah, it happens. So they decided that they're gonna go and try to get the security back online, release all the heroes, and hopefully solve this whole debacle. Now, through many fights, some of them really good, a lot of high impact stuff, so it's all over the place on most of the stuff, especially with Bakugo. Like, he's ridiculously all over the place.
He blows things up and he curses a lot. I mean, he's pretty much doing what he does.
That's the angry guy?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the angry
Yeah,
one.
that's what I thought.
And,
Key-chan or something like that.
so by the time they get to the top of the tower to take care of security problems and figure out what's going on, your boy Dave is found out, along with the assistant Sam, to be the inside people. They're the ones that actually let the villains in to actually take care of the operation. All for an experiment that did belong to them, but was taken away due to its potential threat in nature. Had it been released to the public.
And then
So-
they switched it back around to be like, okay, yeah, you were a villain, but you had hero intentions, which
It-
was...
Well, it's more of his intention was to be. Now, they do reveal why he does it, but I'm going to leave that for another time.
We spoiled
Is-
everything else, why not?
Got ya!
I like her.
I'm sitting here like, wow.
I was trying to be semi-nice about
Nah,
it.
screw it.
Anyways, so it's
We
revealed
watched-
that this experiment, this project he's been working on, was helped to amplify people's powers. Mainly for the fact that he notices that All Might's abilities are starting to decline. Now, granted, if you're a fan of the series and have actually watched it, you know why his powers are declining. Versus Dave, who absolutely had no idea the true cause.
Or me,
I barely know.
I've never seen it before.
They do explain the real cause.
Do
in the
you remember
movie.
the damage that he had received right there in his rib?
Oh yeah,
That's
he
not the-
gets, like,
that's the
1-0
start.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
not-
start.
That's the start of it, but that's not the main reason he's losing his powers. The powers of One for All,
One for All,
once
yeah.
it transfers to someone else, the person who had it last slowly starts losing
Right.
its abilities.
So he's given Midori, whatever
Midoriya.
He was born as a normal person like Melissa was.
Yeah, he had no cords.
Right, and so when All Might met him, he transferred his power over because he appreciated the spirit, the hero's heart.
Yes.
Because, and I quote, Midoriya is the most hero potential that he's ever seen
Yep.
Yes.
in his life.
Yep. So when we find out that our genius and his assistant were in on it the entire time,
Oh,
pretty much making them accessories to the whole thing. Actually,
because
they are.
Sam double-crossed Dave!
Oh my gosh, I was
Yeah.
about to say the same
Yes.
exact words. Yes, he
And
did.
so, instead of hiring supposed fake villains, they actually hired a real villain who has a really,
Although Sam told them that they were actors.
actors.
Yeah, it was a double cross on a double cross on a double cross again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the villain
So,
double
No, it's
crossed
just-
Sam
no,
also.
it was United States politics at its finest.
100.
He's not wrong. So, with that being said, now Midoriya literally is one of the very few, the last few that are able to fight our main villain of the story, who's able to control all sorts of metal by being able to reform it and use his weapons or use it the way to attack and whatnot.
He was
What-
Magneto on steroids.
Yep.
Actually,
In the beginning, he was discount Magneto.
Yeah.
Then he became
That's true, that's
Magneto.
true, that's true.
And then later he becomes Magneto on steroids. But upon Melissa being able to finally get her hands on the security system and unlock everything else, All Might and everyone else is able to join in the battle at the end. That's where we get the reference of Super Magneto going pretty much, buck wild.
Because did it not look like Cerebro to begin with?
It really did. It really did.
And I apologize, but the order is not chronological. It's kind of chronological, but there are some details that we have
Spread around. Yeah, well, it's 8 stars.
It is 8 stars.
Just to explain it to the viewers.
Well, they can watch it.
Yeah, they can watch it when it comes out. So,
hopefully our misplaced details will confuse them who haven't seen it.
And they'll be surprised when they watch it.
Yes. But we warned you
We
about
did.
spoilers from the start. So if you're
About
watching
10 minutes
and you
ago.
haven't
yeah,
seen
that's
it,
about
it's
10 or
your
so minutes ago, yeah.
fault.
So, and to me, this is probably where the climax of the story really kind of gets good, because we're watching, where I think the title Two Heroes really comes into play. Where we actually are watching All Might and Midoriya actually work together, which is never actually truly happened in the series.
Well,
at all, even up to this point.
And when it does
So
happen,
that's why they all freaked out.
yeah,
yes, because
the teachers usually will have the students step back. You don't have your license. You're not fully trained.
Yes.
Let us handle this.
I caught that.
And every once in a while, they'll do something where they're at the same scene, but they're not working directly together like they did in the movie.
And so that was actually one of the biggest moments, is watching those two fight in tandem together.
Yeah, in sync even. I mean, they were...
Very, very much in sync. To the point where our Dr. Dave actually figures out that...
What's going on,
that Midoriya... That his plan to keep things at a status quo,
It's not going to work.
not going to work. Midoriya is next in line to be the next symbol of peace.
Is the next generation.
This generation. We should be molding the new minds, not trying to keep what we have now.
And his daughter, Melissa, is realistically learning to be a replacement for her father. This is her idol.
A better version, because
Right.
she had the ability to watch her father fall.
Right.
Yes.
And get corrupted.
Learn from his mistakes.
So, and she was very offended. She was like, "What the fuck, Dad?" Basically.
Pretty much. Ain't wrong. So, this film, had many highlights. Has anybody got any highlights they got from this film? Will?
The whole thing, honestly, because I've never seen any of this before. So it was always kind of like a big surprise to me.
I loved the...
Although I did like the fact that Albright was just like a...
The skinny blonde.
Skinny, like, malformed dude.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like some grunge rocker reject from the 90s. I love the use of the superhero moments that ramp up to the next superhero moment, and it build and build and build, and it's the most fun, cheesy, manipulative stuff, and it gets me every time.
You, my dear?
Huh?
Did you have a highlight that you liked in the movie?
I'm sorry, I got really distracted for a second.
Does this usually happen to her?
Yes.
All right.
Probably not hard.
You want us to come back?
I'm just trying to figure out what my favorite part was. 'Cause there were a lot of good
We'll just
ones.
pick one.
Just kind of go through some of your bigger moments.
Pick two.
I guess if I'll go first, because my thing is, I like the escalation of the fight scenes. Between everyone kind of got their bit of moment in this movie.
The course at the beginning was pretty cool.
The course at the beginning was great, and the idea behind it is I like the fact
I know
that
what I liked.
what you got.
When the guy used his lightning on the robot, and then they didn't do anything, he's like, "Okay, 2 million volts," and then they're like, "No, when you do that," and he's like,
Kaminari is Kaminari pretty much fries his own brain the more voltage he uses. So it's kind of funny that like he can only do it once and he's kind of useless for quite some time.
Sometimes.
Yes,
He
he
could
pretty
have
much
that.
moved useless for almost the rest of the film. But in this film, every character that actually had an active role in trying to save the community actually got to do something big. Including characters like Mineta, who is our resident pervert who dreams of one day having his own harem by being a hero.
Is that the blue guy?
That's the guy. That's the guy with the balls on his
Yeah,
head.
he's funny.
He like everyone had their moments. So I like that in this film where they didn't just have him in the film to be there. They actually had an active role, and that's why I liked that. Up until the very end, like there was always that quick superhero save from somebody. Like Todoroki had a lot of big superhero saves. Bakugo had a lot of good superhero saves. I mean, everyone just had a moment to themselves, and I think that was something worth mentioning. Even Melissa, beyond just being able to be the super smart tech person, if it weren't for her, Midoriya wouldn't have been able to keep up his ability to be able to push his limits beyond his typical 5 to 20% of power. He was able to use his full power without him hurting himself because of her.
That was a new twist to me.
But
It is
he broke
because...
it.
Well, I kind of figured something was going to happen to it, considering he doesn't have it in the show. And if
I
you
was
were...
also thinking the same.
The Gauntlet.
Because she said
Yeah.
that it could only survive basically
Well,
Three.
three All Might actual full punches. So if All Might breaks it in 3, he might be able to do it a few more times before it actually shattered it himself.
Yeah, plus it really seems in this movie like Midoriya is actually more powerful.
Well, he is.
Well, he
The
is.
energy is transferring over. It's just his body's not ready for it yet.
Yeah. Because when you first see him, he's just your typical skinny kid. But you saw at the end where his shirt's
Oh
blown
yeah,
off,
the dude gets ripped,
and he's like ripped. Yeah.
It's like a Gohan moment.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just ripped kid. Like, I was like, damn. And that took, 10 months of training? So I
Yeah,
was like, it
and
was
if y'all don't
hilarious.
know what I'm talking about, Cell Saga.
There you go.
Dragon Ball Z.
This guy hates it to death. Which is funny. I really think he needs to watch the abridged because he would enjoy that.
thank
He really would. No, seriously, dude. You would
Bridge is
enjoy
so
a
bad. Bridge
bridge.
is so
You
bad.
really would. I don't care how much you hate Dragon Ball Z. A bridge, for whatever reason, just
Yeah, I'm not
It's
a huge,
comedic gold.
I'm not a huge Dragon Ball fan. I watch.
bridge. Because it's funny as
I
hell.
didn't really super get into Dragon Ball Z until
You know what I'm
Gohan
about.
quit
You know what I'm
being a white
about.
bitch and beat up Cell.
Thank you,
And
Team
then
4
that was
Star.
pretty
You've done
much
great.
And suddenly,
Oh, yeah. Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
When he started singing Frank
Gohan's
Sinatra, I
must
lost
be
it.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Something about
Okay.
stop being a whiny bitch.
would go on like that.
All right, but anyways, so
I would go on like.
yeah, we can go on forever about all that. So back to our 8-star comments on My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. Let's go into our overall scoring of things, starting with our tangibles like sound, audio, and stuff like that. Now, to be honest, we were in the theater, so everything was big, boom, loud, and whatnot. But I like the voice acting very well.
It was in English, not.
Yes,
not
it was
sub.
an English dub. But then again, Funimation got their hands on it, and it doesn't take long for them to, transfer files from a movie from Japanese here to the States these days. So,
Besides, it really seems like My Hero Academia is like targeted at Americans anyway.
the animation style was basically ripped from the idea of American-style comic books.
I don't know, what's his name, right?
All
All
Might.
All Might. Sorry, guys. Anyways,
That's all right, he
All
called him All
Might
Bright.
is like
Yeah, I heard
the
it.
Japanese Captain America, in my opinion. But
I-
better, because I don't like Captain America.
I mean, he's a little more on closer to Superman, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way more closer to Superman.
Yeah,
And
I can definitely see that. It's just all the red,
Without
white, and
the too-
blue.
without the
Wait,
too many
Superman
powers.
does too?
well, they do mention that All Might did work
Red,
in
blue, and
America.
yellow, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That they do mention that All Might did work in America for quite a bit before he went back to Japan to do all of his stuff there.
And all of his moves are named after states and cities in America.
Yep.
Detroit City Smash!
Yep. Yep, Detroit Smash. There was a Carolina one that
There was a Carolina smash. Everything's a
Texas Smash.
Yeah, everything's a smash.
Yeah.
Him and
Yeah, David was like, he just says a state name and then Smash. I don't get it.
well, they did a kick, and I was like, why can't it be the Kansas City Kick?
That would be entertaining, actually. But and so basically, if you're taking for what this is, I mean, we're talking animation styles are up to date with today's standards. You know, you're looking at high definition, a little bit of computer. Actually, a lot of computer work in this. You can tell.
Yeah.
But it looks really bright. Really, huh?
The background.
Backgrounds definitely. But I thought they did a really good execution of this series. If you're used to watching it in subs, go ahead and watch it in dub. They do a fairly fantastic job of capturing the characters really well.
Especially Angry Guy.
Yeah.
True 100% reimagining it in English. It's perfect. It sounds exactly the same.
It's fantastic. So, personally, if I'm going to give a score for this, I would have to give it, I actually would give it a 4. I actually think it's done well. I actually like the way it looks. I like the comic book theme style of fighting and action, the way they kind of have everything set up. So, that's just my personal opinion. How about you, Will?
So it's audio and video together. Up to 4.
Give it a 3.
Any particular
Any reason? Yeah.
No.
All right, how about you, Dave?
I also give it a 3, but I give it reasons. First of all, the video, the visuals.
Yeah, I could give it reasons. I just didn't really. I mean, I just wasn't trying to take up that much time. Was all.
Yeah, just be on a review show. Don't give no review.
Anyway, Dave. Let Dave go.
I hate the way this artist draws these hands. They're so
I knew
large.
you were gonna mention that.
Oh my god. Audio, I think the voices are great. I don't really recall too much of the music, so it didn't really stand out to me. So that's why I give it 3.
Fair. And you, Amy?
I think I also give it a 4 because the hand thing didn't bother me, but there were other visual things like when the helicopter was flying and a lot of the action scenes and stuff like that that really made up for their
Whatever weirdness.
horribly deformed hands and like they like
Y'all so
look like this like, sometimes. So I can
Dang.
understand why they gave it a 3, but I feel like other aspects of it really made up for that.
Now we get into our more intangibles, story and overall enjoyment. Story to me was really easy to follow. You've pretty much you had your bad guys, you had your good guys. They didn't really hide realistically who the inside man really was. At a certain point, you kind of figured it out.
Well,
I mean, even before
you narrowed it down.
you narrowed. I mean,
yeah, halfway through the movie, it becomes part of the plot again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, there's no big secret, there's no mystery.
I disagree with all of them. It was not obvious to me.
Well, I mean, it wasn't obvious to me.
Don't
But,
interrupt.
well,
Hey, don't interrupt. Okay, it was not obvious to me that there was an inside person, but when Melissa went up to the control room and Daddy was sitting in there and she said, Papa, the first thing that I thought was, I wouldn't be drawing attention to yourself, little girl. So at that point it was incredibly obvious. But again, like 5 seconds later, it's 100% told. So
yeah, that was my point, is like, I didn't guess that it was Dave or even Sam.
I didn't even
actually,
guess that
I
there was
kind
an
of
inside
did. I kind of did. I just couldn't figure out a motive until they talked about it.
Well, I
Yeah.
figured out that Sam had a lot to do with it, like from the get, because it like showed the flashback, and Sam was all like, "Well, why don't we just go get it?" And da 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 da. It was all Sam's idea.
I mean, yes, but still, Dave is still an accessory to it, so it's not like he's completely innocent in
Oh,
any
for
of that.
sure not. No.
But I just felt like, yes. You seem to have something.
I'll wait.
No, I'm good. Go for it.
Go.
No, I'm good for it.
Finish your thought. I'll wait.
No, I'm good. No, trust me. Start talking.
Okay, well, it was actually kind of obvious to me that definitely there was an inside man, because who was he talking to on the phone every single time you saw him in that scene.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But the thing that made it more obvious to me was, how did he know about Dave's daughter if he's just on the island?
Well, I figured that he was just a villain who did his research.
that's what I thought too. Maybe because
That
Mr. Shields
might be
Not-
as well as
is a
that.
very famous guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, as though that might be true, but he made it seem like they had already had her captured and in custody from the way he said it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that was the thing that led me to
that what-
that was the thing that definitely nailed it home that it's either him or it's Sam, the assistant.
Although, it really should have clicked from the beginning, because they were like, is there a scientist, blah, 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 who are you, da, da, da. And then they were like, okay, well, you're coming with us. And then Dave comes out and he's like, that's my assistant. And then they're like, you're coming with us too. You know, and usually I'm very, very good at picking up on plot lines and stuff like that. But first of all, I've never seen this anime before. And second of all, I do believe that they did a very good job of hiding it.
What's up?
I don't think he needs to do the anime in order to get that part of the plot.
No. That's why I said the other thing I said.
So, what you gonna do?
No.
I really liked
Okay.
the movie because even though I have never seen this anime, I was able to enjoy it and also learn things about the anime.
Which
Like,
is
I
true.
could get a good concept of what the anime might be like just by watching this movie.
So basically, for story and overall enjoyment, where would you score yourself?
I would definitely say a 4, for sure. If that's
Yeah.
the highest number.
It is. Because you
Yeah.
combine them together to get
4.
8 stars.
Oh, 8. Okay, I didn't know what you were talking about. I thought you were talking about
Normally,
like,
I explain the story.
audiovisual
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing
Mhm.
that we did a second ago.
Yep.
But I think it's a 4 because at first I sat in the theater, I was very confused, and I was like, "What the hell am I watching?" But
That's how I feel half the time.
by the time that we were halfway through, I was laughing, and I was very into it. And I actually want to watch this anime now, thanks to this movie. So of course it's a 4 for me.
Definitely good. Personally, I give it a 4 myself. I actually thought it just ran fairly smooth. It was actually a very nice movie. I wouldn't call it the best of the movies, but it was definitely fairly solid. Like, this was a good start for My Hero Academia, and realistically it's early stages, because I'm sure we're going to get more seasons of the show as time goes on. So there's that. So right now you got 2 people giving it 8 stars. So how about you, Dave?
I was going to give it 3 because I really did enjoy it, and the story was kind of simplistic but still fun.
Yes.
But the fact that you can come into this anime and watch it and not know, come into the movie and not know anything about the anime and still enjoy it actually adds a star to me, because I have watched movies with doing these reviews where I did not watch the animes and I didn't have a flipping clue what was going on in the film. Like the Naruto film or
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. Goku's stupid, so I don't care.
Yeah, we watched
No, I mean like he's mentally stupid. So he punches things and then things punch him and then he punches harder. Okay, that's all usually the plot.
Meh.
I just think he's very simplistic.
Okay,
Alright,
simplistic. So I give it 4 for a combined total of 7.
And he's
I give it a 4 because to me this was basically my introduction to the series, and it actually did a very good job.
yeah, because at the beginning of the film, it pretty much catches you up to what the world is about. Izuku's story. We're on this island. Go. Bam. You're just like, oh, well, okay. So they caught you up on what the series is about, and here's the story.
I
So-
actually have a favorite part, aside from the one I mentioned earlier,
Go for it.
which is that they gave all of them screen time. They gave all of them, the ability to use their powers. They gave all of them a scene in which you can see who they are. And I
Showcase.
thought that was
Showcase them,
awesome.
yeah.
There was not so much secondary characters, as a group of main characters.
Trust
It
me,
is an ensemble cast.
It is. Because all your secondary characters got screen time by saying, hey, we're going to play Uno while we wait for our internet to come back.
Yeah.
She's like, don't worry, guys. I got games for days. I'm thinking, like, she pulls out Uno. I was like, come on now. Oh, though there is one thing. Mr. Brown, I know you're going to be editing this later. They do mention one of your favorite giant monsters in this anime as a joke. He is known as the monster hero, Godzilla. Godzilla. And I was like, and he literally walks on screen, has like, Japanese gloves on, he stops real quick to just peace on the TV screen and keep walking. It was great. I was like, that is amazing.
Although I think they called him Godzilla.
It is Zillow.
Yeah, but they L's and R's.
L's and R's, so I was just kind of being funny with it. But it is Zillow. And I was just like, so they put an O at the end, and there literally is a hero who just happens to look like the giant monster Godzilla. That is
And even makes the
fantastic.
sound.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But from there on, as you know, we got 8, 7, and 7. That lets you know that this film really did
Its job.
It did its job. And I do recommend it when it's on streaming services under Funimation or Crunchyroll. Go ahead and watch it on that if they decide to do that. And also when it comes out in DVD, go ahead and buy it, support. That way they know that, yes, we are really interested in wanting to see more.
I would even be so bold to say this is Anime 101.
Yes, it would definitely be Anime 101 because anybody can jump into it and just go with it. And if you like the movie, you go, oh man, I really got to see what the series is about. And just go for it from there. And the series is not that far along from this point on, only about 60 episodes or so. So it's not too terrible. And one of the episodes is a pretty cool introduction somewhat to the movie. So there's that. But other than that, as we're watching Amy over here die,
It's the popcorn, man.
we had popcorn?
We did.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We hadn't eaten since 10 o'clock that
Don't
morning.
get extra butter on your popcorn.
Well, you heard it here, folks. This is why HR Anime has been awkward for years. So,
Extra butter? Extra butter did it!
so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. We hope you enjoyed our review of My Hero Academia 2 Heroes, and we hope that you have a chance to see it yourself while you have a chance in theaters or when it comes out in DVD or streaming services. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chris Brown. That's Will. It's Amy. And Dave's somewhere back there, literally being ahead right now. That's anyway. We'll see you next time. You good? There we go.